What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we are here for a SmackDown review. We're on our way to SummerSlam. It is July the 24th, 2020. This, of course, is the Friday after the horror show that wasn't anything but a horror show at Extreme Rules. It was the horror show known as Extreme Rules. That show was still terrible. And then tonight we had ourselves in the main event a bar fight, which was originally supposed to happen on Sunday. And after this show got done airing and that bar fight was over, and I'm thinking it wasn't the best cinematic match they've done. The bar is still the Boneyard match, but yeah, it was way better than that swamp fight piece of shit that they did. So I honestly see why they decided, well, you know what? We're going to put this on Friday next week. Because if we put this match during the show at the same night of the swamp fight, everyone's going to shit on the swamp fight even more. And be like, wow, why would you put this here if you already have a better match in the bar fight? Because the bar fight was not bad, but it wasn't the best. Like I said, the best still, as far as I'm concerned, is the Boneyard match. Nothing has topped it. I would say this came close. This is number 2 for everything they've done so far with these cinematic matches. Can we take a break from cinematic matches? I don't want to see one at SummerSlam. I don't want to see one next week, the week before after that, the week after that. Wait till like September or October to give us another cinematic match. But of course that's not going to happen. They'll find a way to do a cinematic match next week or at the pay-per-view. So tonight opens up, and last week they did this thing where we had talent sitting backstage talking about things that were going to happen on the show, giving us a hype. They were trying to hype up the show a little bit. So that wasn't a bad idea, because they did it again this week with Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. We opened the show. Jeff Hardy was out in the back. He's like, "Hello, my name is Jeff Hardy, and I'm an alcoholic." And he talked about it, and then we went to Sheamus. He talked about the bar fight, how he's going to make him feel, how he's going to beat him up. And then we went to, it's John O'Clock. Ross is going to have a fun day tomorrow with his WTF moments, because John Bradshaw, they feel, was on here twice. But he mentioned how he's been in multiple bar fights and knows what it's like to be in a bar fight, because during his last few years with the APA, him and Farouk would sit there, or, Ron Simmons, would have multiple bar fights with multiple people. So, yeah. So, after that, Corey Graves and Michael Cole had tonight's show. Bar fight is received with Sheamus' personal bartender, who, you remember the last time we saw the personal bartender, he had alcohol dumped on him, a bottle smashed over the back of his head, and Jeff Hardy hitting him with a swanton. So, the WWE NXT talents in the crowd behind the plexiglass. We go to the ring, and out comes Women's Tag Team Champion Sasha Banks and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Sasha Banks, of course, still has Asuka's Women's Championship on her shoulder. That match is going to be happening on Monday. WWE is so desperate for ratings. Next week, and we'll talk about this more too in a bit, next week should be dubbed Championship Week, because not only are you getting a Raw title match on Monday, but Friday you're not getting 1, but 2 title matches. Bayley will defend her Women's Championship, and then AJ Styles will defend his championship, and I have some words for what they're doing with the Intercontinental title and his challenger for next week. So Banks and Bayley go about how great they are. They declare that the women's evolution is over. It started with them, and it's ending with them. They introduced a new era, the era of Sasha Banks and Bayley. They're running their mouths and taunt fans some more, saying they'll never be as good as them. Out comes Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, and Nikki is heated. She is pissed off that she got screwed out of her championship on Sunday. She says that you stole my moment, my time. You stole, Sasha, you're a fraud. You took that title. You stole that title from Asuka, which of course. Sasha's like, what are you talking about? No. And then She yells at Banks and Bayley. And then Bliss isn't sure about this because Cross is wild and carrying on. And of course, Cross has her ribs taped after what happened on Sunday with the boss brass knuckle being hit, like punched into her gut or into her ribs. Cross mentions the street rules crack. She goes on and wants a title shot now. Bayley jokes around some more, calling them sheep. She says she wanted Extreme Rules fair and square, but she wants to do that what's right. She announced that Cross can have a title shot if she beats a former champion, a future Hall of Famer. She's looking at Sasha Banks when she's saying this as if she's going to mean Sasha Banks, but she says a former SmackDown Women's Champion, and Sasha hasn't held that title yet. So she says, your best friend, Alexa Bliss. Cross is heated. She's pissed off. She wants this match. Bliss is trying to talk her down. Like, no, we don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. We're friends. We don't need to do this. And Bliss actually goes over and, I'm sorry, not Bliss, but Cross goes over and shoves Bliss down, says, we need to have this match. We got to have this, and walks down to the ring, and that's going to be our first match of the night. Number 1 contenders match, Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross. This match was, it was okay. So Bliss is in the ring with Nikki Cross. Sasha Banks and Bayley join Cole and Graves on commentary. Banks and back and forth to start the match. Bliss and Cross trade holds, keeping it friendly early on. They go back and forth on the mat now. They break off after going back to their feet. The crowd applauds. They go at it again, and Bliss drops Cross with the shoulder first. Bliss charges, but Cross nails a few arm drags. Cross grounds Bliss in the middle of the ring. Now as the crowd rallies, they go into the corner, and Cross blocks a shot, and she's not happy with Bliss trying to take advantage. The tangle in the corner some more, and both avoid a DDT attempt. Cross rocks Bliss with a big shot and gets fired up now. Cross runs wild with several takedowns. Cross with a splash and more in the corner. Cross with a running bulldog out of the corner for a 2 count. Banks and Bayley are extremely annoying the hell out of this. She's pissed off that they're like trying to cheer for one, and then it's like one saying, let's go Nikki sucks, as you would do with like John Cena or something. Bliss turns it around and sends Cross to the floor. Cross traps Bliss in the apron, but it backfires as Bliss kicks Cross away. Banks and Bayley stand up at the announce table and shout at the competitors for looking like fools. Cross and Bliss then turn their attack to Bayley and Sasha Banks, knocking them down as we go to commercial break. Bathroom break, and Bliss slaps Cross while she's on the apron holding on. Bliss rocks Cross and sends her to the floor. Bliss runs and slides, kicking Cross back in front of the announce table where Banks and Bayley are. Bliss brings her back up and unloads on Cross in the middle of the ring. She grounds Bliss grounds Cross in the middle of the ring. Bliss keeps control and works on the hurt ribs some, with putting her elbow into her ribs and everything. She rams Cross into the barrier. The referee counts and Cross makes it back in. Bliss continues to dominate but can't put Cross away. We get towards the end of this match here, and Cross goes up top as Bliss is down. Looks for a crossbody. Bliss rolls out of the way. Cross lands hard on her stomach, clutching her ribs. The referee tries to check on her. Bliss also tries to check on her, but ref backs her off. Bliss approaches, possibly to check on Cross or to continue the match, but Cross takes advantage, rolls her up 1, 2, 3. Nikki Cross wins and will face Bayley next week. After the match, Cross recovers and stands tall. We see replays. Bliss, obviously, instead of being in the corner, does not look happy that she let her friend get one over her. She did the good old, hey, I'm hurt, but I'm going to roll you up and beat you type of maneuver. Back from break, and Alexa Bliss is backstage with Cross. It's a bit awkward at first, but Bliss says, Cross, you got one over on me. And says that, last week you said that you don't get as many opportunities as I do, which is absolutely true. But you earned this one, and I'm happy for you. They hug. They say it's time to focus. Bliss says it's time to focus so she can beat Bayley for the title, and that was that. So a lot of us are talking about how Bayley and Sasha Banks are going to be turning heel soon, and they need to. It needs to happen. You can't just let these guys to you can't let these women go out there and continue to have, be happy together. They're gonna break up eventually. But are they going to break up Bliss and Cross too? Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross really was like, it just felt like, and apparently according to Alexa Bliss a couple months ago, it was her idea to put these two together in a team, because Bliss went to Vince and said, look, I'm not going to be in the title picture right now, so let me run with Nikki Cross as a tag team. And they did. They have since then. And I honestly, I'm going to be honest, is I think that Alexa Bliss is better in this position with Nikki Cross than on her own. On her own, she just does not. She like, a tag team hides her weaknesses, and it boosts her strengths a little bit. So I don't want to see these two break up now. Bayley and Sasha Banks can go either way. They could be good. They could be a tag team together, or they could be apart as singles competitors, which is what we want them to do. But I don't know when they're going to do it, and I don't know if WWE actually does this, if they're not just going to, shit the bed and be like, you know what, that's enough, we don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. So that's going to be happening next week. That is one of two title matches, and we'll get to the other one later. We go to Firefly Funhouse. We see a look back at the Bryant Swamp fight, Bray Wyatt and all them. And then Wyatt is in the Firefly Funhouse now, and he's joking with he jokes about, hey, we all wonder if Braun Strowman's going to be stuck in that stinky, nasty swamp. And he's like, that swamp, and all of it is 100% organic. And said, like, Wyatt, then we see the lantern that has the old Bray Wyatt head on it. Still creepy as fuck to look at. You hear like whispering. And Wyatt says, you had your fun. I can't let you back out. And I can't let you have another chance at Strowman, because it's his chance now. He has been unleashed. We see flashes of the Fiend, Wyatt laughing and then he's just, as we're seeing the flashes, we come back and Wyatt just has this look of death in his face, and he's like, bye, and he smiles and everything. And he kisses the lantern's head, and I'm like, no. So he says that the Fiend is unleashed. What has he been doing from SummerSlam last year up until recently, when he went away to get, to raise his second child, or have a second child? What is this guy? What is the Fiend? Like you say, the Fiend is unleashed. What's going to be different from the Fiend this time than the last time we saw him? I don't fucking get that shit. Another thing. This has been just one of those things where it's like, we've had the Fiend for almost a year. And the Fiend, when it first came back, and when it first came out, and it had that first match against Finn Balor, we didn't have the red lighting yet. You had the first time we saw the lantern with his old face all over it. And how cool, and how crazy, and how scary, and we all thought it was like, this is going to be a second coming of The Undertaker, somebody that is going to be great to watch, and how badass he was. And then little by little, in typical WWE fashion, the Fiend just feels like he hasn't, like, all the coolness, all the creepiness, all of that is gone. All of it. I know it started back to me it felt like it started back at the Hell in a Cell, but I don't know. I don't know what WWE can do, because my goodness, it's just like, I actually stopped caring. Like, the Firefly Funhouse, when it first started, was great. I liked the Firefly Funhouse, just like everyone else. And then as the weeks got on, it was like not even right after the Hell in a Cell incident, but it was like a couple weeks after that. It was like, this shit just is repetitive, it's boring, and it needs to stop. And here we are, almost a year later, completely, and the Fiend is not as special as it was last year. And that's on Vince. That's on the company for muddying this guy, putting him in the world title picture, the universal title picture, before that character was ready, before that character should have even been in the title picture. Bray Wyatt as The Fiend should have never been the Universal Champion going into the draft. He should have been drafted to SmackDown and just now be on his way to being the Universal Champion. Because then you wouldn't have had the match with Goldberg where The Fiend gets hit with how many spears? What was it, 3 or 4? Only to get beat by a suplex, not a jackhammer, a brainbuster suplex. And The Fiend just hasn't felt the same. It started to feel bad at Hell in a Cell. Then that Super Showdown this year where he got beat, and then it just feels like it's like any aura that The Fiend had. And the Swamp fight didn't help anything either. Having the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, come back, it didn't help either. This gimmick is dead. This gimmick is done. This gimmick sucks now. WWE has done everything they could within less than a year to ruin The Fiend. And you wonder why when anybody comes up from NXT, we as fans go, man, that would be this person would be great on the main roster, but how long is it going to take for WWE to ruin them? They're already starting with Matt Riddle. Here we go now. The Fiend sucks, and I honestly don't care if The Fiend ever wins the championship again. They had less than a year, less than 6 months, they ruined The Fiend. And now it's worse than worse. Then we show WWE decides they're going to remind us how Matt Riddle lost to AJ Styles clean last week. So Matt Riddle takes on Tony Nese. Why? Why is Tony Nese, who is an NXT/Cruiserweight wrestler, up here to get squashed by Matt Riddle? You know who should be taking the spot? Somebody who doesn't have a fucking recognizable name. Tony Nese has no business in this ring with Matt Riddle right now. Tony Nese should be on 205 Live or in NXT, vying for the Cruiserweight Championship, fighting to be Cruiserweight Champion. He shouldn't be getting killed by Matt Riddle. Who do you think won? Matt won with the bro Derek. That's all that. After the match, Riddle stands up. He gets the microphone. He's like, I'm new around here, so I don't know how this actually works. Corbin, I'm calling you out, bro. So out comes Corbin. He comes out and speaks to stage. He says, well, that's right. You're new around here. That's not how this works. You don't get to just call for a king. You don't get to just demand to talk to a king. You have to fill out a formal inquiry or whatever, and it would be rejected. I don't like you. I don't think you deserve to be here, and I'm putting a king's ransom on your head. The first person to kick your ass gets the king's ransom. Riddle says Corbin has it all wrong. Riddle goes on and says Corbin is the next special guest star on the Bros Show. He drops the mic, turn around, Tony Nese is back up, kick to the head, and then he leaves. So, yes, we have Matt Riddle versus Vince McMahon's favorite enhancement talent coming up probably at SummerSlam. Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles from last week should have been the match at SummerSlam. But what are we getting instead? We're getting Matt Riddle versus Boring Corbin. The headaches. The headaches, they hurt so much with this show. John Morrison and The Miz are backstage. They bring up the recent hashtag Naomi Deserves Better, which we're going to talk about what Booker T had to say on Sunday. And talk about how creating their own hashtag, Morrison jokes about potential hashtags, but Miz isn't impressed. And then they hurry off to Miz TV. Back from break, and we have another episode of one of the worst things on WWE television, because I fucking hate talk shows like this. Now, of course, the highlight reel was great because Chris Jericho is good at whatever the fuck he does. Which, by the way, Chris Jericho has a new shirt. Demo God 1849. So, if you want to get that thing, there you go. But it's just, I hate these talk shows. Like, Roddy Piper was classic back in the day with Piper's Pit. Jerry the King Lawler's King Court was terrible, except for when he was like yelling and making fun of Martha and Stu Hart. That was funny, but everything else on there sucked. The highlight reel was fantastic because Chris Jericho knew how to work it. You have the Peep Show by Christian, Edge's show, which I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of it. You had JTG had a show for a second when he was in NXT, when he was being a pro on NXT or whatever. And now you have The Miz with his show, and then of course the Dirt Sheet, I think they've realized, oh, that was stupid, so let's not do that again. These talk shows just suck. It's always heels going out there being heels and doing stupid shit. They had Naomi come out and want to talk about what the whole big deal about give Naomi a chance was. So that all happened. And then what did they do? What did they do? They had Lacey Evans come out. Lacey Evans comes out. She's putting on her makeup, disparaging Naomi. Naomi smacks her, pushes her, so when she's doing her lipstick, so it smears up her face. They brawl for a bit. Naomi sends her packing, and that is that. We'll have a match between those two next week. By the way, this is the most matches I think we've had going into the next week that we know ahead of time. Usually WWE likes to give you the main event for next week, and then we'll find out everything else on social media. Backstage, we see how Cesaro and Nakamura defeated the New Day in the Tag Team Championship match from last Sunday. Big E is backstage pacing around. Kofi Kingston walks out of the trainer's room and says, and he was asked him, how is it? And he says, it's not good, but it's not as bad. But he's going to be out of action for at least 6 weeks, maybe more. He's looking forward to spending time with the family. Big E wants Kofi to heal up. They talk about focusing on the title's back. Kofi says, maybe the universe is trying to talk to us and tell us something. Let's see. Woods is out still, which if Xavier Woods out this long, I don't think he's going to be coming back anytime soon because Ember Moon had somewhat of the same injury and she might not be coming back. So Xavier Woods might be refined to working for up, down for the rest of his life. Maybe he might not be able to wrestle. But he's like, Woods is out. I'm going to be out. It's on you. You have been selfless. You have put the team before everything else. It is your time, Big E. You need to go out there and show them what you can do. And you have mine and Woods' blessings. So, Big E, for the first time since the New Day came together, is getting a singles run. 6 weeks, which means Kofi Kingston will be missing SummerSlam, so Cesaro and Nakamura will not be losing the titles back to the New Day at SummerSlam, so they get at least a month plus of tag team title reign, unless WWE goes somewhere else. But, okay. He deserves this time, yes. I cannot wait to see what happens with Big E. And then we get this next match. Big E was just in the back being praised by Kofi Kingston. It's his time and he should get a singles run. AJ Styles comes out. He's not in the match. He's going to be on commentary for the next match, where we find out who's going to face him next week. Not at SummerSlam, next week. You have weeks, not a month and a half. You have like 3.5 weeks to SummerSlam. Where the fuck is all the build to SummerSlam? Why are you building Nikki versus Bayley next week? Why are you doing this match, the winner of this match versus AJ Styles next week? They're that desperate for ratings that the pay-per-views go out the window. This is WCW shit right here. WCW, during the Monday Night War, would give away pay-per-view matches that should be on a pay-per-view. I'm not saying the winner of this match in AJ Styles is going to be a pay-per-view headliner, maybe a curtain jerker. But the Intercontinental title should have somebody built up going into SummerSlam. So it's a Fatal 4-Way. Who do you think is going to be in the Fatal 4-Way match to see who faces AJ Styles next week? Drew Gulak. Okay, he faced off against AJ a couple weeks ago, lost to him, but he also beat AJ before he won the title. Chad Gable, hell of an athlete, would be a hell of a number one contender against him. I would love to see Chad Gable versus AJ Styles. And then Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik. The Lucha House Party. Kalisto must either have Corona or he's in Mexico and not able to come back up. But these 4 men right here, what have they done to get in a title match or even get the chance to go for the title against AJ Styles. Can someone explain this one to me? Because I'm having a hard time figuring out what the fuck is going on here. Why is AJ Styles going to be defending his title against Gulak or Gable or Metalik or Lince Dorado next week? Like I said, Gulak or Chad Gable, totally understand. Those guys are two fantastic athletes and they would be worth... They at least have some kind of credibility. What the fuck are the Lucha House Party done? Have they ever won a match on SmackDown? Turns out, no. Have they won a singles match in like the last year? Turns out, no. So why would you have these four guys in this match? Why isn't Big E in this? Big E, this could have been the way to start off Big E's time as a single star. He's only going to be single star apparently for 6 weeks possibly. So why are we getting this match? None of these guys, honestly, because none of these guys deserve to be in the ring with AJ Styles. Now, who do you think would win this match? Who? Would it be Chad Gable? If you answered that, wrong. Even though I'm telling you right now, Chad Gable and AJ Styles given 20 minutes would be a barn burner of a match. Drew Gulak getting a rematch even though he doesn't deserve one. Man, no. It's one of the Lucha House Party members. Which one would it be? Would it be Lan Metalik? Would it be Lince Dorado? Now, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to say that these two guys don't have talent, because clearly they do. They are two really talented guys, but they haven't done anything to even warrant being in the match with AJ Styles next week. It doesn't make any sense why you would have AJ Styles versus Gran Metalik or Lince Dorado when they haven't done anything, and the last time we saw them, they were getting beat. But this is WWE for you. That's what they do. They just want to hotshot stuff. They want to put title matches on there because their ratings are going down the toilet. That's the only reason these two title matches are happening next week. That's the reason that Sasha Banks and Asuka are having a match on Monday, this coming Monday. That's the reason we had that convoluted end to that title match this past Sunday. A match that if it would have had a concrete, clean finish, I don't care if Asuka or Sasha Banks would have won it. If that match would have came down to Sasha tapping or Asuka tapping, and the winner being the champion, I'm telling you right now, hands down, that was match of the fucking year for WWE and the women's division for sure. But no, WWE had to do exactly what they always fucking do. They had to fuck it up because they're fucking stupid. And it was a last minute change at that, so what the hell else are we supposed to do? But this is WWE, that's what they fucking do. So, who won this match? Gran Metalik. Why? I don't fucking know. Like I said, AJ Styles, Gran Metalik could be a hell of a match. But here's the other thing. As I stated earlier, this is Gran Metalik's first win as a singles wrestler. Never won another singles match on SmackDown, and yet he's getting a title shot. Does anybody see something wrong with that? Because I sure as hell do. How are you going to give somebody who's never won a singles match in his career on SmackDown at least? I don't know if he won one on 205 Live. I don't know if he won one on Raw, which I doubt it. How are you going to give this guy a title shot? How? Just how? I don't get it. WWE the match is not worth anything. It's just, how are you going to give, it just blows my mind. This is how desperate WWE is for ratings, but if you're that desperate for ratings and you want to put a title match on next week, why are you going to put somebody that nobody cares about? You've given us no reason to care about Grand Metro League. No reason to give a fuck about Lince Dorado. Drew Gulak has some kind of build. So does Chad Gable. Get rid of that fucking name. Get rid of that disrespectful name and give him Chad Gable back. Other than that, why? I just don't care. It just makes no sense at all. After the match, Metro League stands tall. AJ gets in the ring. He wants to shake his hands. AJ offers his hand, but Metro League hesitates. AJ slaps him in the face, sending him backwards. Dorado stares at AJ, and AJ's like, "That's what you get for not showing respect." Metro League slaps him back, then runs off the ropes, hits a tornado DDT, and that was that. It is confirmed for next week, but seriously, does anybody feel that there's a snowball chance that AJ Styles is losing the title next week? No. If you're going to give me AJ Styles versus anybody, give me AJ Styles versus somebody who could possibly beat him for the championship. Don't just throw somebody out there willy-nilly thinking, oh, he's gonna... No. I know it just feels like this is WWE responding to Tony Khan and TNT and AEW and Cody Rhodes going out there and giving challenges to people and giving these guys time to show you what they can do and putting them over without losing to them. It's just what it feels like. So, after about a month and a half of disappearing, we see a video package of the relationship between Mandy Rose and Otis. The love story will continue next week, where both will be on SmackDown. Of course, this week's episode of SmackDown was taped last week. Next week's episode of SmackDown will be taped next week. So, either one, these guys were in contact with people with Corona, or two, they had Corona and they're now able to come back, or three, they just wanted to take a month off. Which, by the way, I wonder what professional wrestlers are taking this entire time, other than the fact that, the whole dangerous, the whole thing of, what do I want to say, of virus and stuff, but wrestling doesn't have an off season until coronavirus hit for a lot of people. Even if it's a 2-week off, which a lot of these talents are getting, or a lot longer than that. Bobby Roode hasn't been seen since the COVID-19 has happened. Of course, the independent wrestling scene is non-existent almost. We've had some indie shows, but a lot of it is, non-existent right now. I wonder, after this is all said and done, I wonder what stories are going to be like of how they felt going through all this. They hyped the bar fight, back from break, and Kayla Braxton is with SmackDown Tag Team Champions Cesaro and Nakamura. They brag about putting Kofi Kingston through a table and hurting him, making him go splat. Cesaro regrets not putting Big E through a table and hurting him. They don't believe this is Big E's time. They're not buying that, what Kofi says. Nakamura comments about how they're going to make the other tag teams on SmackDown go splat. Shinsuke? There are no other tag teams. One of the Usos is injured. Kofi is injured. I think it's Jimmy's is injured. Jimmy's injured. Kofi and Woods are injured. We haven't seen Heavy Machinery. There are no other tag teams on this company, on this brand. The Forgotten Sons are heels, but they're MIA because of some bullshit political reasons that should not. You should not be punishing somebody because they have a different political belief, first and foremost. And the fact that WWE is doing that is just fucking ridiculous. But yeah. Other tag teams on SmackDown. What other tag teams? Lucha House Party? That's nothing. Usos? Oh, that's right. Jimmy's injured. New Day? Oh, Kofi and Xavier Woods are injured. What other tag teams? That makes no sense to even say that because you are the only legitimate tag team on the brand right now. Miz and Morrison are a joke. They're not a legitimate tag team. What tag teams? What tag teams are they going to be making go splat? This is an absolute disgrace of a tag team division. Raw has, 2 tag teams? SmackDown has 1. That really matters. It's just terrible how bad this company is. So we get a video package of Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus feud back from break, and we see Cole announce the SmackDown champion, the Women's Championship match for next week. Grand Metro League versus Intercontinental Champion AJ Styles and Naomi versus Lacey Evans. That's the most matches I think they've announced for a SmackDown show in a while. We go to the bar named Irish Shannon's in Orlando. Sheamus walks in. His personal bartender is there as is a referee. The bartender says he hasn't seen Jeff yet. Jeff walks up and takes a seat. Sheamus asks if he wants a drink to take the edge off. Jeff passes and asks for a cup. The referee asks if he's ready to do this. Jeff tells him, not yet, you're only here to count for the 3. Jeff says his brother had to delete his WWE career, but tonight I have to recover mine. Talks about his sobriety has changed him, so Sheamus better be ready for anything. Sheamus says Jeff will never change. He's a weak and pathetic. Which, by the way, Jeff already came in looking normal, but Sheamus came in with pants on, suspenders, a wife beater, and a fedora. Now, I know COVID's going on and everything, and we can't have a packed bar with like the APA used to back in the day where they would beat the hell out of anybody in a bar fight in the bar. But could you at least get at least 2 or 3? There was a basketball hoop there, one of those arcade things where you can shoot hoops. Have some fucking NXT Performance Center talent sitting there at the bar with 2 of them sitting there shooting hoops. Have somebody on the end of the bar drunk out of his mind. Then you have some fool sitting at the other end of the bar as these guys start to fight, trying to break this thing up where they beat him up and throw him through a window. It was an okay fight. But it was just, when it came to all this. I mean, you're going to have a bar fight. At least make the bar look like it has some kind of patrons. I know, but it's a controlled environment with what they do. So they could have had a couple of talent get tested and then, tape this whole thing. Which this thing was probably taped last week or the week before that. So, Sheamus gets ready, warning the bartender that Jeff doesn't like bartenders. Jeff takes his glass that he poured beer into, throws it into Sheamus' face, and they start fighting. They're beating the hell out of each other, slamming each other on the wooden bar. Jeff pulls Jeff down the length of the bar, knocking glass bottles, breaking glasses. Sheamus holds on Jeff on the top of the bar and beats him with his fist like he would with the 10 beats of the Bowery. Sheamus is asking for a shot, something on the top shelf from the bartender, but Jeff takes advantage and turns it around. With a clothesline from the bar, Jeff grabs several basketballs in the basketball hoop area and starts throwing them at him. Add that to the wheel of weapons for the next game. Let's add basketballs. Sheamus kicks Hardy, but Hardy tries to hit him with a beer keg. Sheamus blocks it. Jeff beats beats Sheamus back and forth into the wall in the hallway. Sheamus comes back and uses a keg on Jeff while he's down, then chokes him with it. Sheamus pounds on Jeff some more, sends him into the wall as they fight into the bathroom now. Sheamus slams the door on Jeff several times while he's down. He works Jeff over inside in the bathroom, puts his face into the urinal and flushes. And I'm like, I'm done. Tap me out. No, thank you. I'm done. No thanks. But I'm not Jeff. Jeff is choking, wet from the toilet. Sheamus and them start fighting some more. Beating the hell out of each other. Sheamus gets knocked into a toilet, so Jeff gets back out. Sheamus comes back out as well. They are fighting and beating the hell out of each other. Jeff grabs a ladder and decks Sheamus with it, which Sheamus dominates some more and rams Jeff into the brick wall, which, I know it's not real brick, but that shit's still gonna hurt. After catching a crossbody, Sheamus swings a guitar at Jeff, but misses. Hardy keeps fighting. Sheamus then sends Jeff into a set of drums on the stage that was not visible earlier in the show. Back from break, and Sheamus is yelling at Jeff to bring it. Jeff is still down at the drums. Jeff heats things up and unloads on Sheamus, dropping him on the bartender as the bartender looks on. They fight, and Jeff drops Sheamus with a twist of fate. Jeff looks down at Sheamus and then stands a ladder in front of the large stack of barrels and on display. Jeff stomps on Sheamus and drags him over to the ladder. Jeff climbs up, but the bartender attacks him. Jeff comes off the ladder and fights back, decking the bartender. Jeff grabs the bartender, powerbombs him through a table. Hey, you got your money's worth. There's your $500. There's your $500 for working this taping, sir. Jeff from behind. Sheamus takes advantage and hits Jeff from behind. Sheamus grabs the hat he had on earlier, places it over Jeff's face. Jeff is just laying there as if he's just dead. He's laying there dead. So Sheamus goes behind the bar, grabs himself a pint, fills it up, takes and guzzles that shit down, cleans off his beard with his mouth, with his face, with his arm. So we have some eerie music playing. Sheamus limps back over and calls the referee to get ready. He removes the hat from Hardy's face, and the odd music continues in the background. Jeff suddenly has paint over his face. He did not have his face painted in anything when this match started. With it, then he opens his eyes, and you see the contact lenses he usually wears with the dot when it's all like it's white, but you have like a bunch of dots in it so you can see through them. He drops. Sheamus climbs the ladder, delivers a swanton to the floor of the bar, and holds it for the cover for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, he stands up, closes his eyes. 3 seconds or 4 or 5 seconds pass by. Opens it back up. Contacts are gone. Music plays in the background. He stares straight ahead as he's snapping back to normal now and losing his look on his contacts. He limps away while Sheamus is laid out in the bar floor, and SmackDown on Fox goes off the air. I totally understand now why this match was set up for this week and not at the horror show that was Extreme Rules, because this match would have outclassed Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. Please let this be the end of the feud. No more. Jeff needs to move on. Sheamus needs to move on. Yes, I know. They won one match each, but this is a match that ends the feud. I don't want to see it anymore. No more. But SmackDown overall was a better show than last week, I'd say, but that's not by much. WWE is setting themselves up to have multiple title matches next week. Next week is going to be called Championship Week, even though I know they probably don't have anything set up like that for, for NXT. They don't think they have any title matches, but the main roster is going to be Championship Week, and I'm sure by this time NXT will probably be, set up with a title match so they can have a championship match, at least one on each show. But SmackDown is in the books. We are going into Monday Night Raw this coming Monday. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The France Club. Find me on Instagram at The France Club. And I will see you guys Sunday for Unscripted, where we're going to go over the Tessa Blanchard ransom she put on the TNA Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship, Booker T, and his ignorance, and much, much more. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.